Hey students, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another week of English 112. I know that this was kind of a crazy week because of the hurricane and we weren't in school on Friday. So I hope that that little extension was beneficial and helpful to you all. Want to run across a few things this week. So one of the things that you know is that you will be submitting your rough draft, and this includes your introduction, your problem section, and your solution section by Monday, October 3rd at 11:59 p.m. I will be reviewing those Monday through Wednesday night and possibly even into Thursday, a little bit Thursday morning. And really giving you good feedback. Now, keep in mind, I've already given you feedback on your introduction and your problem section. And so this is really going to be more focused on your solution. I will give you some overview comments, but I won't be going line by line like I did previously. So this week, it's a little bit of a breather because that is going to take me some time to really get through. So what we're going to be doing is some of the problem areas that I've been seeing, we're going to do some ed puzzles over those. So one of which, some of you have been asking, how do I avoid you? And writing the word you, I'm not sure how to change this sentence out. So we have a little lecture and ed puzzle over that concept. Another thing that we're going to talk about is argumentative writing. Some of you have been giving me some really good questions, and one of the issues that you're having is you're writing these cause and effect sentences, and I want you to think about those things. It's really important when you're dissecting a problem to think about where the problem came from, who started the problem, who's contributing to the problem, who's benefiting from the problem. But when we go to write those topic sentences, we don't want to inform our audience. We want to argue against our audience, and we want to recognize that whoever is on the other side of that paper, that they may not agree with anything that we're saying. So, for example, let's say that you're talking about a literacy issue in school. Okay, to say, there are some children who can't read. Okay, to say that, well, that's a fact. That's a statement that cannot be argued. You're informing somebody, but it's not a true argument. Now, to say there are people in the state who ignore the fact that children cannot read, or that a certain demographic of children cannot read. That's an argument, right? Like you've stirred the pot there, and you have to explain yourself. So what I really want you to focus on as you're reading the feedback this week and you're revising and you're editing is ask yourself in that problem section, can someone argue this topic sentence? Is this argumentative? But that's what this ed puzzle is going to really dissect. And he's going to show you some examples. It's a teacher, and he refers to some of his assignments. Disregard that and really just look at the content, because the content is what's important. And then just a brief little ed puzzle about conclusions in an argumentative essay. Now, if you submit your conclusion, of course, I'm going to review it. But keep in mind, that's not going to be a separate assignment. Conclusions, I expect you to understand what that is because you're coming from English 111. And I expect you to know what to do. And we're doing a brief review over it. But unless you meet with me or we set up a conference, I'm not going to really dissect that for you. And then, so these are all going to be due Wednesday, October 5th. And then by Thursday, you will have your feedback. And what I expect you to do by Sunday is to review that feedback, go over it, see what comments I made. And then your assignment for this week is that you are either going to ask me a question about the feedback, or in 100 words, you're going to give a brief summary of what you plan to revise and edit. This is really just to check in and make sure that you're reviewing that feedback. I'm noticing that some of you are not doing that. And then when you're submitting your work, I can just tell that there's been no revision, no editing. And guys, that just harms your potential as a student and as a writer. So review that. Go over the comments and some of the things that I've said, and then use this cue to either ask a really good question or, again, just to give me a brief summary of what your plan of action is. If you have any questions about any of this, please don't hesitate to reach out and let's make it another great week.